Hello, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Okay, so after reading the Patreon comments from last week's episode, I'm glad I'm not alone in the sense that I was a little confused by the story structure of it.
Yeah, I always process. It's one of the nice things about you watch an episode, you wait and you go back. Yeah. And for me, it's always, we have a discussion after the show about immediate thoughts, but then we start the next things like what stood out to me a week later. Yeah. Like, what did I think about all week? And honestly, in that episode, I'm having a hard time really remembering overall what the plot of the episode, what the story of the episode is. There's Cuba and Kate met Leo when he was drunk once in Cuba.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really recall exactly what the import of that episode was.
It was a choice to tell it that way.
Right.
Obviously it was a part one. Yeah. You're going to pick it up in the second episode.
Maybe.
That's a good point, yeah, because the way it ended, like, it kind of felt like it was a cliffhanger, but, like...
Yeah, well, that's the thing, it was like you and I, even at the time, we were like, it all really depends. How do you feel about this episode? It really depends how you feel about what they do with it in the next episode.
Yeah.
And that was our discussion. Do they get back to Kate and Leo and what was really going on there? Do they move on to how the candidates deal with what the president wants to do in Cuba?
I was anticipating that.
Right, I'm not really sure, and... If that was kind of a one-off and we move on, then that is just kind of a standout weird episode. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was just kind of muddy.
Now, I definitely enjoyed it as it was happening because, it was captivating. You know, like we were wrapped up in the story and it flew by. But, like, if that truly is just it for that episode, then I'm going to be looking back at it being like, maybe I'll skip this one.
I was annoyed, and I kind of said so at the end when they got to the end, and I felt like, so the whole big build-up thing on when Kate Harper met Leo was just she gave him a ride because he was too drunk to drive one time.
Yeah, I thought it was something bigger than that.
That was like a real big build-up to... Yeah, we've known since season 1 that Leo used to be an alcoholic. Yeah. Like, nothing that happened there was a surprise.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the import of that was. Like, there were people on Patreon, like, really debating, like, what exactly happened in this episode.
I saw that, yeah.
And they were all earnest, you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like, all that tells me is it really isn't clear what they were doing with that episode compared to other episodes.
And I'm glad that I'm not, alone in that. I mean, because I was really like, am I just an idiot? Like, because...
Again... For me, it was just, I hope we're setting up what happens with the campaigns in the next episode.
For sure.
And how they deal with the changing policy in Cuba, whatever that might be. And if that's not the case, it's like, well, then what did we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, the episode did give us a really good Brian Dennehy performance.
No, of course. Right? And we had that great scene between Brian Dennehy and Leo. It's a complicated issue. Yep. Nobody's wrong. Castro was a terrible guy. Also, does that mean that you can't deal with Cuba at all and you just kind of lock him away because embargoes don't really work that efficiently because we tried it for decades? Like, all of that was there, but all of that was there in 5 minutes of the episode.
And an otherwise very strong season. So that's why I'm wondering if there was some sort of shift happening with the writers, or it was just like they had it filmed and they changed the courses. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Or my guess, honestly, is that, like, the writers' room at one point, some of them wanted to talk about Cuba, so that's the most they could milk out of talking about Cuba.
I guess so.
A lot of back and forth, kind of building up to that one really good conversation between Leo and Brian Dennehy about American policy in Cuba. And that was kind of the episode, which this show doesn't generally meander like that.
No.
Very few times does it meander like that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll be able to tell you more what I feel about it by the end of this episode.
For sure.
Than by the end of that episode.
Yeah.
Strangely enough. All right. Sorry, hiccups hit me again.
It's always the worst.
Right. Always great timing. We'll get started here. I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here and give a special thank you to all of our super patrons. AB, Actuarial Lurker, Balazs Fuldez, Chris, Derek Peterson, Empty C93, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Sudugunda Varapu, Turgir Linkstad, Trey Contreras, WerePanda47, and Natasha Norris. Welcome. Thank you so much. Really glad you're here, guys.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel. If you might hit the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else that we've watched or we're currently watching, check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. On every show, including The West Wing, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon. If we're on YouTube, on everything on Patreon, you're going to have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You're only going to see us due to copyright law.
Yes.
We can now report that our exit polls indicate another huge win tonight for California Senator Arnold Vinnick.
Vinnick is running away with it.
Crushing it, yeah.
But our exit polls show another very tight race between Russell and Texas Congressman Matt Santos. Neither candidate is going to pick up enough delegates tonight to get the Democratic nomination. We're told that he will concede the race to Vinnick in a speech to his supporters at Butler campaign headquarters in Virginia.
I've got Senator Vinnick here. Just a second. Reverend Butler.
Oh, conceding?
Don, I'm going to need your help to bring the parties
Go
together
ahead.
now. Now, we'll clear the schedule for you.
We got to move fast on VP.
Hey, I love Don. He's a great guy. But he beat me up pretty bad on abortion during the primaries. How's he going to walk back from that?
Yeah. He's a reverend.
Yeah.
You agree on most issues and respectfully disagree on a couple.
It shows I'm looking for someone who can help me with the conservative base of the party.
Yeah.
That too.
Don Davis?
What was he in?
A lot of stuff. He was a director of theater where I used to go to college.
Oh, really?
Con Air. The dead... the body fell on his car.
Oh, okay.
It's Vinnick. Yeah.
I like Senator Vinnick. I don't know why they're looking so doom and gloom.
I know.
Worst case scenario is Vinnick's your president. All right.
Now that guy's his VP. A little concerning.
Sure.
But, you know.
I mean, cabinet and all that stuff matters. Yeah.
We got nobody who can beat him.
That's what he said earlier.
Yeah.
It's a good callback.
So the Cuba thing just might be done then.
So that does make it a really weird episode if
Yeah.
that's the case. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If that was it for the Cuba thing, it's like, well, then that just went nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Upon rewatch, I might skip that one.
I would too. Yeah. There are a couple episodes on rewatch I would just skip.
Yeah.
They were kind of like standalone, their own things.
What's funny though is that this season I was like, this is an unskippable season.
Yeah.
It's been perfect so far.
That was
It's
a weird one
still
to
great.
wedge in there, wasn't it?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Try something different.
I guess
Doesn't always work.
Maybe something was going on with Cuba in the news at the time they wrote the episode that they felt like they had to address it.
That's a good point.
Maybe it could have also been nothing.
Congressman Matt Santos says
It really is.
1,000 votes.
They're still counting New Jersey.
So what? No one's going to have enough delegates for the nomination.
Oh, we're gonna have a floor fight.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know when the last time that happened is.
I'm excited to see it though. I mean,
The convention. They'll be fighting a convention to get the delegates.
Senator, would you rather face Russell or Santos?
I'm in no hurry to face anyone.
Senator, do you think your lead in California gives you the lock on the Electoral College?
I'm not going to take my state for granted. I'm going to work hard to win California, work hard to win every state. For every dollar we cut taxes, we're cutting spending by $2. I'm for all the good government we can afford. No more, no less.
You know, you can't say it anymore without thinking of Doge and those goons.
I hate that so much. Yeah, if you made The West Wing today, it would be Veep, basically.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's Santos.
By how much?
A couple thousand votes.
Are we doing a press release on raising the debt ceiling? Because I don't understand a word of it.
So they want the president to press for the vote right now?
The leadership wants to schedule it at the last minute. They always like to schedule it at the last minute just when the government's about to default.
That way it's too dangerous for any senator to try to stop it.
The Republicans have tried many times to let it go, just blow it.
Why does Treasury
Well,
want
higher
the president
than
to read over a 20-page memo on a one-sentence bill?
They like to run the worst case scenario. The immediate collapse of the U.S. economy, followed
Yeah.
by Japan sinking into the sea, followed by a worldwide depression, the likes of which no mortal can imagine.
So this debt ceiling thing is routine or the end of the world?
Both.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Every time we have an idiot congressman who says we shouldn't pass it because we shouldn't spend money, it's just like, if what you said happened, that would be the end of it. Banks would not have money anymore.
Yeah. It's absurd.
Yeah,
It's playing with fire, really.
it is.
Going into a convention without a candidate. The network's gonna love it. They're gonna cover every minute of it.
Yeah, because instead of 4 days of predictable emptiness, all hell's going to break loose.
It's going to be the two candidate people yelling back and forth for the delegates to pick the candidate.
Are you serious? Santos couldn't even carry his own state.
Santos
And he-
won the big states. We can't begin to plan till we know who we're running against. They're both strong in different states.
Royce is here.
The majority leader is coming to my office.
Guess he wants to be first in line for VP.
The butt
Hands
kissing
out.
begins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Arnie. You're the real leader of this party now. And I just want you to know I'm at your service. Whatever you need me to do.
Here it is.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
I don't have any vices, by the way.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
So Russell's only 80 ahead.
Russell's got 1,677, and Royce has 956.
Oh, because the Hoynes split.
Hoynes is betting that on the second or third ballot, the delegates will get shaky about these newcomers, Russell and Santos, and move to the guy they've known the longest.
Oh, so Hoynes is still in it, he thinks.
Well, Vinick is looking more presidential every day.
Let's get Russell and Santos in here.
And Hoynes?
No, just a photo op. And remind people that we still know a little something about running the country.
I don't feel comfortable about this.
Everybody does that when you get to this stage. You bring in new people.
Yeah, but a Democrat?
One step at a time. I'm just saying we should meet with him.
I'd love it if it was Toby. He came to work for Vinick.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
Bruno.
Yeah, it's Bruno.
Congratulations, Senator.
Thank you, Bruno. 50 states, huh?
Sound crazy to you?
Well, it did get my attention. Well, I can't plan a 50-state campaign before we know who I'm running against.
Who told you that? I would run you from today to Election Day without ever mentioning your opponent. Pro-choice, anti-partial birth, pro-death penalty, anti-tax. You're in a unique position to run a completely positive campaign because most of the country agrees with you. The only thing you could do to ruin that now is to pick Don Butler as your VP.
I have to reach out to the pro-life Republican base.
There are many pro-life Republicans who are more qualified for VP than Don Butler. You're moving the Republicans away from the right wing. You're not saying Democrats are not patriotic.
God, this would have been the way that America went instead of how it did.
I'm telling you.
I have spent the last 20 years ripping this country apart. You don't have to do that to win.
Bruno's a pretty powerful force if he's with Vinick.
Absolutely.
You can stop using politics to divide this country. You can put this country back together.
I wish that was true. Like, you have no idea. I would... Ugh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody clip that and put it on the internet.
This is the VP's turf. He belongs here, they don't.
The president is still the head of the party, and he isn't going to let it crash and burn on his watch.
Then after, Russell has to have a separate photo op alone with the president. A shot of them discussing, affairs of state.
Nope.
He's not taking sides.
Yeah.
If the president really wants to bring the party together, then he should get behind Russell right now.
10 a.m. tomorrow morning in the Oval.
Will needs to chill.
Yeah, chill out, Will. You can't tell the chief of staff that.
Give yourself an aneurysm.
He looked like he was, didn't he?
Hi, sweetie. The area of a parallelogram is...
Length times width.
Length times width. You're meeting with the Reverend Butler first thing in the morning.
You think Bruno's right?
He's not on the ticket. We still need a strong endorsement from him.
Bruno thinks he's going to win regardless.
He seemed pretty gung-ho.
Yeah.
Glad you could both make it.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Annabeth, you can bring in the thundering herd.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. I love the fact that Hoynes wasn't even invited. I think it's a dig to, let the world know that Hoynes isn't even in this conversation.
He's done.
It's an honor, Mr. President.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this
Bob,
is the
thanks
first
for
time they've
doing
met.
this.
Pleasure, Mr. President.
Think the president's going to lecture him now on how they need to behave moving forward?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think he should.
Boys.
Yeah.
All right, listen up.
Yeah.
This is a tough situation for you guys. I understand that. One of you is going to be our nominee. So I want both of you to start acting like the nominee right now. If I think you've overstepped the line, I'm going to grab the nearest microphone and say so. And don't be surprised if I endorse the other guy while I'm at it.
Yeah. Yeah, because on a convention fight, him picking one, just saying so publicly, would end it.
For sure.
If one of those guys had Jed Bartlett's political instincts, I'd be 20 points behind. You read Ray Sullivan's file yet? Highest percentage of independents ever to vote Republican in West Virginia.
Reverend Butler's here.
Thank you. I just want to be an honest broker here. But if you choose Butler, you can lock in an electoral college landslide today.
He stands on his principles so much.
I love it.
I want to see where he goes.
Ray Sullivan is the best man. Don Butler is the best bet.
So you picked the best man.
Yeah. I think Vinick is more of a best man kind of guy. After the King Corn thing, I don't see him folding that easily.
No.
Hey, Arnie. Good to see you.
Thanks for coming by, Don. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, now that I'm seeing him up close, he does look familiar.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Best in Show.
Yeah.
He's one of the judges.
Yeah.
Abortion is not a political issue with me.
I know.
I've been thinking about how we could work around our differences.
It's funny, so have I. Don, I think you can help me take the White House back for the party. And I think in the general election, with you on the ticket.
Arnie, let me stop you right there. But then we come back to abortion.
He doesn't want it.
I do not respect your position on abortion, and there's just no way in the world I could run on a ticket with you. No way.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. It's not easy. Well,
Okay.
I did not see it going that way at all. I thought when he came in and said, I want to help the party, I thought he was kind of campaigning for it.
And he turned it down.
No, he cut me off. He wasn't going to let me offer him something he would have to refuse. He's a classy guy.
Did Senator Vinnick offer you a spot on the ticket?
No, he did not offer me a spot on the ticket.
Reverend Butler, would you want to be on the ticket if Senator Vinnick changed his position on abortion?
First of all, I get down on my knees and thank God for performing a miracle.
Reverend, will you pray for him to change his mind?
Yes, I will pray for Senator Vinnick. And he's welcome to come down to my church
taking a shot at him there.
Pray with me. And there'll always be a place for the senator in the front row.
Are we at least going to get Butler's endorsement?
Don't know.
Why not accept his invitation? Go down to his church on Sunday.
And
pray for his endorsement.
Yeah, it's a great photo op. But he can't take any questions. Senator, we know what Reverend Butler prayed for. What did you pray for? Do you think Reverend Butler is wrong about abortion, Senator?
So he shouldn't go to Butler's church.
You can't play Butler. He's not a politician.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
You play the game you
I like how
came
this
to
is
play.
edited.
Make a move on VP quickly. Show you're moving full speed ahead while the other side is stuck without a nominee. Who's next on your VP list?
Ray Sullivan.
Good choice. You make the Sullivan meeting the story of the day instead of the Butler meeting.
President's not going to like it.
It's the only way we're going to get a vote on minimum wages here.
Yeah, but trying to stick an amendment on the debt ceiling? Come on.
I won't even try it if the president says no.
Way too risky.
But if the Democrats can force a vote on the amendment, it puts the Republicans in a tough spot. What does Vinnick do? Terrible time for him to have to break with his party, especially now that he's got this Butler problem to deal with.
And I haven't been able to get the working poor a raise in 7 years.
It's been like 25 now.
Yeah.
You'd have to go vote. Democrats are trying to stick a minimum wage amendment on the debt ceiling.
Cheap stunt. What are they going to do? Not raise the debt ceiling if we don't raise the minimum wage? If we don't pass the debt ceiling, we're going to have a lot more poor people in this country.
They're trying to separate you from the party.
Seems to be getting easier every day. I'm counting on you big time.
I can't vote, you know.
Counting on you to catch me a foul ball tonight.
That's so sweet. That's so adorable.
Yeah.
Are you going to accept his invitation to come to his church this Sunday?
I think I'm going to... I have some TV commitments that day.
Yeah, get us out of here.
Yeah.
Sunday morning TV shows is more important than going to church?
Oh my God, these reporters. He shouldn't have said anything.
No.
Vinnick went from the candidate who easily answered any question to being the guy who won't even tell us if he goes to church.
Senator, do you go to church?
Oh.
I didn't really expect to see batting practice.
I haven't gone to church for a while.
I think you should.
Yeah. I got to get back to work.
That was nice of him to stop and talk to her, though.
Yeah.
If you were to revise your position on abortion, you would...
Flip-flop on abortion?
Thought you should know, yeah.
If you go to church, the press is going to ask you why you didn't go to Butler's church.
How long?
Counting weddings and funerals?
Governor Sullivan's going to be here any minute. Let's clear out.
Yeah, that's something that's not going to fly in Republican politics.
That's the least of my concern, though.
Right.
What my president's religion is.
I agree.
You know where I am Sunday mornings? I'm in here or at home doing my job. I used to go with my wife every Sunday I was in California. Then when she got too sick to go, I stayed home with her. And after her funeral, I didn't want to go into that church again.
I just noticed he still wears the ring, too.
Yeah.
Yes, he can handle that. We'll get him over there right away. He wants you to go see the president.
Governor Sullivan is here.
I want to see this.
Yeah.
He wants you to work out a deal with the president on the minimum wage so the Democrats will let us pass the debt ceiling before midnight.
I kind of want to see him and the president together.
Sorry, I got to make this quick.
Oh, Dark Knight Rises.
Jamming us up with an important vote. I got to run over to the president.
Everyone on TV tonight is saying that this meeting is about the vice presidency. Did you offer to Butler?
No.
Good. I don't want to be anybody's second choice.
I've been reading about your positions on a lot of things.
I can get in line with you on everything except abortion. Nothing's going to make me change my mind on that. But I'm guessing you wouldn't want me to.
Exactly. He needs that. He's there to pull the pro-life vote.
Toby, you have a copy of it?
Toby's like, whoa. Starstruck.
Yeah. Just amazed that he's there.
Yeah. He's got a presence.
Yes.
The president's waiting for you, Senator.
Mr. President, I'd hate to think that you were consulted by Democrats on the Hill about doing something as irresponsible as playing games with the debt ceiling. What did you have in mind?
Democrats withdraw the minimum wage amendment from the debt ceiling bill. You pass the bill, then you give them a vote on the minimum wage.
You'll lose a vote on the minimum wage. How about you withdraw the minimum wage amendment, and I round up enough Republican votes to pass the minimum wage increase? We don't want jobs moving to lower wage states. I can get you the votes.
What do you want from me?
I announced the deal. Help me keep a secret.
What's that?
That I just gave you more than you asked for. Let me hang around for a while, as if we're really slugging it out in here. I think I could live on coffee ice cream.
Hardest thing about this job is knowing the stash is down here 24 hours a day.
Whatever happened to separation of church and state?
Yeah.
But I'm afraid the Constitution doesn't say anything about the separation of church and politics.
You think the voter really needs to know if I go to church?
I don't need to know, but then I'm not going to vote for you anyway.
A little odd coming from someone who wasn't exactly completely open about his health.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake. I don't know how you plan to handle this religious thing in the campaign.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us. You've had an awful lot of photo ops on the church steps.
He goes to church. He's very religious.
One Christmas, my wife gave me a very old edition of the King James Bible. Then I read it.
You can't take it literally.
I could not believe there was a God who said that the penalty for working on the Sabbath was death.
I'm more of a New Testament man myself.
I couldn't believe that there was a God who had no penalty for slavery. Lincoln could have used a little help from the Bible.
You think Lincoln was an atheist?
You gonna try to save my soul?
Get these guys some bowls.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's yours now. You don't have to,
yeah, right. Put your name on it.
Yeah.
Just gave up the struggle.
The only thing you can pray for in this job is the strength to get through the day.
Yes, we have reached an agreement on the debt ceiling bill. We've agreed to have a separate vote on the minimum wage increase tomorrow.
Is it going to pass?
Yes, it will.
Senator, are you going to reconsider Reverend Butler's invitation to his church this weekend?
I fully respect Reverend Butler's position. And I respect his church too much to use it for my own political purposes. And that's exactly what I'd be doing if I went down there this Sunday. I may be wrong, but I suspect our churches already have enough political phonies in them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
If you demand expressions of religious faith from politicians, you are just begging to be lied to.
Yeah, I agree.
Preach.
It'll be the easiest lie they ever had to tell to get your votes.
He didn't hold up a Bible upside down and say 2 Corinthians was his favorite Bible passage.
What an interesting dynamic to have it flipped, where like you have the steadfast Christian being a Democrat and the one whose faith is kind of shaky being a Republican.
Yeah, in that conversation, yeah.
Really loved how they kind of flipped that trope.
Expectation. You know? Well, yeah, it's because the notion that like no Democrats are religious or all Republicans are religious is just stupid anyway.
Absurd. It's absurd.
It's just this like.
I mean, Kennedy was a Catholic.
Trope stereotype thing, right? That I mean, pick your issue. That's America. Like
And I love the fact that we have a separation of church and state conversation too. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in that. It is kind of funny that how we get in, we swear in a Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I found that refreshing. I really did, and I loved his final words there at the end there too. You know what I mean? Like that was great. That's amazing. I'm Team Vinnick.
I really like Vinnick a lot.
I think I'm sold on Vinnick. I love Santos.
Sure.
This is really complicated for me
right
now.
Well, I mean, this was very much just a Vinnick episode.
But every time we get one, I'm just more sold on the guy.
Yeah, I like the guy a lot. Again, this would be obviously when Bob Russell is destroyed and gone, as he very much should be. I think you have Santos running against Vinnick, and it's like, wow, an election that how they should be. 2 candidates where America would be okay regardless of the outcome. It's been a minute.
Imagine a world like that.
I know that has not been the case.
Farther and farther away from that kind of.
By the way,
situation.
You don't actually have to swear in on a Bible. People just choose to. You can swear in on anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
a lot of people swear in on whatever their religious text is. People swear in on Qurans. You can swear in on the Watchmen if you want.
Be amazing.
Right.
Dark Knight Returns here.
Alan Moore here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, this was a really good issue episode. I feel like. Are we supposed to be struggling with our faith and will right now a little bit?
Because
partly I understand where he's coming from, But at the same time, it's like he's so aggressively.
He's very aggressive with it.
Right. I mean, like he was yelling at CJ, you know, about how like the president needs to pick me because my guy's the only one who can win, and it's just. I like, you know, we've liked Will so much, and we've struggled with his decision to go work for Bob Russell, because Bob Russell is not an ideal candidate
at all.
But this notion of like we've had him screaming lately.
It's a little arrogant.
We've had him yelling at Josh more than once.
Yep. But when you're yelling at CJ like that, it's like, dude, take a step back.
Well, you're in the White House yelling at the White House chief of staff, who you used to work for. Basically saying the president, you know, telling her what the president needs to do for your political candidates. I get it. He's working, you know, the vice president is in the administration and Santos isn't. But this notion that Will insists that because he's the vice president, the president automatically owes him his loyalty.
That's insane.
Is insane. Because it's like, well, the notion is like, he's been a good vice president. He's been loyal to the president. Well, you know what? Matt Santos has been a good congressman. He's been loyal to America too. Why does he have to say like, well, this is automatically my, you know, what I'm supposed to be doing here?
It's a tough beat for Will to walk, honestly. You know, and it's like I like Will. I have liked Will. Right now, I'm not his biggest fan.
No, I'm
to
not
be
either.
honest. Like I said, it does come off a little arrogant.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, chill out a second there, man. I mean, I understand the pressures of the job and like you're trying to do a good job.
He's doing his job. I mean? His job is to get Bob Russell elected.
I get it.
I understand he is doing
totally
his job.
Totally get it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you need to kind of check yourself a little bit there.
Right. Do you think? I'm kind of curious what happens on the show because I do think we're probably 4 or 5 episodes because they said they're about a month away from the convention. So I'm assuming in like 4 episodes we're gonna have the convention fight.
Well, 4 episodes will be in season 7. This is episode 20.
Okay, so yeah, so it might be at the beginning of season 7. Do you think we get much Will / Bob / Donna on the show after? Because we're gonna have
right?
We're gonna have the bulk of the season left.
I think you have to because I think it'd be a weird choice to not have them on the show because they've been such a big part of it. I mean, maybe it's the last season, but like.
I guess at least Will could go back. He still works for the vice president. The vice president's still the vice president, so he could still be working in the in the administration for the vice president.
Yeah,
Donna.
What does that mean for Donna? Yeah,
because Donna's like working. She's like Josh, right? She just is working for the campaign now. There's a real possibility that Donna just kind of goes away after.
That would suck, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I mean. They could always write her into some other position.
Got to do something. Maybe she goes and works after. She could go work for Josh again on the Santos campaign.
I'm sure she'd love that.
Yeah, or work with him anyway in a different role. Well, she's not going to be his assistant.
Yeah, not working under him. You know,
not as an assistant, but in a different role.
I'd be fine with that. You know, as long as we can keep her on the show, I would like that. If they write her off, it would suck. But if you know it's believable, it's believable. You know what I mean? Like I said, the show can sell me on anything if I buy it.
Sure, I take it. They can't write Dawn off. They're not going to write off somebody who's been there since season one. Yeah. Write her off once season 7 starts.
Be kind of unceremonious.
Right. I'm gonna predict that she goes and works with Josh on the Santos campaign.
Like I said, Will be there,
and Will will be working in the White House still. I don't think we really lose anybody.
Yeah, because like
even Bob will still kind of be around. He'll still be the vice president.
With. Like I said, Bob's not a bad person. He's just not the guy.
He's a bad candidate for president, though.
And you know what? I enjoy Gary Cole's performance. I love seeing him on Veep. I love seeing him on this show.
Yeah,
keep him on the show.
I love how different he is on Veep. I mean, that's how you know
how different night and day, dude.
How good a character actor that Gary Cole is.
Yeah,
because he's playing. You know, high-powered political guys in both of these shows. They're totally different shows.
They are.
And he is bringing it completely differently in both.
And then you look at something like Talladega Nights, and you're like, this is the same actor.
Yeah.
This guy can do it all.
He can do that in subtle differences, too. Like, he approaches a role like a professional, regardless of what it is. Just nails it.
I saw an ad for... I want to say it's like NCIS.
He's on one of the CSI NCIS shows now.
And I was like, no, just have him be in prestigious projects.
He's not a young guy anymore. He's in his 70s, I think.
Is it his 70s?
I think so.
Oh my gosh!
So I mean, this is that part of everyone's career where it's like, I just want to be at home, so I'll wind down doing a weekly television show.
I guess even Kathy Bates is doing Matlock now. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody does. I mean, I think wasn't Mark Harmon the person on one of those shows before?
Yeah, I think he got the role from
the same show
from The West Wing, I think. because he was.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because he was on the show, you know. And I'm not knocking those shows. They're totally fine. I just mean like at this level of prestige, right?
For
like
sure.
The West Wing, Veep. You know, these
there is a difference between the West Wing and Veep versus NCIS or CSI.
Kathy Bates has an Oscar. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right, yeah, for sure.
I'm not knocking the quality. I'm just saying it's a different level. So
yeah, they're in their retirement era. They're in their wind it down. Chris Plummer did silly things at the end of his life too. You know,
Kevin Costner was on Yellowstone. You know.
Kevin Sorbo just posts political things on Twitter.
Yeah, he doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's getting pwned, by the way. Is pwned still a thing?
I don't know.
Anyway, he's getting owned, by the way. I love seeing quote tweets of dumb takes.
If Kevin Sorbo's still a thing, then pwned can still be a thing.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Right. That shirt says, by the way, Kevin Sorbo's still a thing. Question mark? Appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.